already.
We're live? Oh,
Yes,
I
we're
can't
live.
see anything from here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so this is Teal Above, and this is the Darkened Hour, and, you know, we are a collective of geek culture enthusiasts that offer commentary on films, shows, comic books, and much, much more. So join the conversation here with us, and beside me is...
Migs.
And...
Gnarly Marv, the existential villain. Ra.
And today's going to be a very special episode, and I'm super excited. As you can see, I'm hyped.
Oh, the computer's
The
hiding
computer's
it.
in it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can see my
Unfortunately.
Just stand up. Just stand up.
Yeah, for like a second.
Will
Well,
the real Morty please stand up? Will the real Morty
Well,
please
if
stand
you
up?
could see, I do have a Rick and Morty shirt on. It's fine.
she does. I can vouch for
You
it.
can vouch
Yeah.
for me, right?
Yeah,
Marv?
we can vouch. We can
You can
vouch.
vouch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a very special episode. It's Rick and Morty, and it's the first time we've done it. And I am so excited. I have so many questions to ask you guys. I can't wait to hear your opinions. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Right? I'll mention a little summary of what it's about. If you have been living under a rock and don't know anything about Rick and Morty.
What's wrong with you?
It's the greatest show of all time.
So
like,
it's
Really?
a story about a granddad, super genius scientist named Rick Sanchez, who goes on crazy sci-fi adventures with his grandson Morty, and hilarity ensues. Pretty much, that's what happens. It's very humorous, but very dark humor. So
Yes.
I imagine not a lot of people can be into it, or they're completely obsessed, like myself. So my first question to you guys is, who got you into Rick and Morty? And a second part would be, what episode or a moment in the show that you would show to someone if you want to get them hooked?
That's a very good
Okay.
question. So
Go ahead,
like,
Migs.
I got started with Rick and Morty with you. We both started at the same time. So
That's not true.
was it?
Lies.
Go on.
Oh, okay.
Lies.
I could have sworn it was started with you, but all right, never mind. All right. But yeah, my moment would just be like the very first episode, because it just hit you in the face like boom, like, yeah, Morty, come on, you gotta get up, we gotta deliver something.
Oh, villain, my villain.
Like, you gotta deliver something. It's like busting into the room, drags Morty out of the room like at 3 a.m. in the morning
Yeah.
to find out he's gonna drop a nuke and start all over.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be Jesus Christ, and you'll be my Adam, and what was this girl's name?
Jessica.
Jessica will be her. You're Eve, and you don't have to worry about me, Morty. I'm not that type of guy. I'm not the type of guy you have to worry about it. That is my favorite moment of all time. This very first episode.
So you feel like that's good enough to show someone?
That's good enough. If
on
you don't
site.
like it, then you have no sense of humor whatsoever.
Everyone's got a different sense of humor. So I try not to be too hard on people, who don't get it.
I'm not gonna crap on Bob's Burgers, but
Oh, wow.
completely.
I'm just saying, if you like Bob's Burger, then you should like Rick and Morty.
I guess. I think they're Bob's Burger is more wholesome, as opposed to Rick and Morty is like straight up.
Well, Morty's like
foul mouth.
right.
Yeah.
No. Morty's like Rick and Morty is like very meaty and dark.
They
Comedy,
explore a lot of
like,
philosophical topics with
for
a
real.
mask of humor.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Marvin.
I mean, for me, I don't remember how I got introduced to it. I remember seeing it around, like seeing the commercial for it, seeing people have the mobile game that's kind of like Pokemon.
Yo,
I got into
we're
it late.
Pocket Morty.
Yes, Pocket Morty. I got into it kind of late.
Okay.
And as far as the episode that got me hooked, I can tell you that I didn't like it at all the first couple times I saw it. I was like, this is not funny to me. Like, this is like really dry humor, and it's very dark just for the sake of shock value.
Yeah.
So I had to like really watch it a couple times before I can say this is interesting to me. Like it got interesting before it got funny. Like the concepts and the philosophy behind everything is kind of what got me into it, and then the humor like got me rewatching it. But really, it had to grow on me first. I like Adventure Time. I like
Word.
what's the other one with the bird and the squirrel?
Regular
Show.
Regular Show.
I love those shows. I like silly things like that. So
Yeah.
when I saw something that was like really really dark just for the sake of shock value, without really understanding it, I just was like turned off by it. But I came back to it and I actually gave it a shot. And the concepts, like the science they would throw at you, is really what got me hooked on it. Like the multidimensionalness and all that jazz. is really, really what had me watching. Like, this is very, very interesting.
So what clip would you show someone?
I would go to the Rick portion number 9 or Morty portion number 9. The one where he falls in love. He wants the girl to fall in love with him.
Oh, he wants Jessica to fall in love with him.
He makes a little concoction,
and he makes a
right?
concoction, and then that's the episode where you realize that holy crap, nothing really matters at all. Like this is so nihilistic.
Yeah.
Like this show is so nihilistic because they pretty much destroy the entire world without going into too much into it, but and they're just like, screw it, let's just go to a different world and take like a world where we're gonna die at the exact moment that we arrive and just live out the rest of our lives there like nothing.
And Morty just buries himself to this very sad song, like
and it's like it's whatever, like it's
just sits down
so
on the couch.
nihilistic. It's so nihilistic. It's like whatever, none of this matters. Let's just keep going, rolling with the punches, and they're still carrying on that way, and I love it.
Nice.
I love it from that point forward. That's the episode I think you watch and it'll be like, holy jazz, and you're stuck there.
Yeah, so I actually have a very specific moment. I remember the first time I saw Rick and Morty, it was in 2012, 2013, and I was on a college campus. I was at Rutgers, and we were pre-gaming before we going out for the night. And they were like, yo, I want to show you something real funny. It was a clip. It was the DMX clip. Where
they're
they're
beating
buff,
puppy people up.
they're buff and they're beating up terrible people. I was
yes.
crying.
By the way,
I'm like, what is this about? Like, what is this? And then I never watched it again.
Oh yeah, and if you watch it out of context, it's like it's really like, what am I seeing right now?
I heard DMX's intro, I was in tears. Like,
I think that
so
was
good.
that was like the montage, like after you started bringing that up.
Yeah. So I watched it, and then year or two passed by, and it got uploaded to Hulu. It's like, yo, let me really watch this for real this time. And then me and Mix watched it together. I'm like, I binged through the season. This is utterly
How many
fantastic.
times have we seen season 1 and 2?
There's certain episodes I would just play just to play. I just played it in the background.
Bro, no lie.
Yeah.
Low lie, we like binge watched that thing, I feel like 10 times already.
Yeah.
I can tell you 2 clips I would show people, right? There's one that was a skit they did that's outside of the show. Judge Morty.
Oh,
so good. So good.
8 minutes.
Kangaroo Court. Kangaroo Court. Oh my God. I show that to people.
I showed it to my dad. He was like dying.
And at the end, do you tell them that it's real, that really happened? Do they believe you?
He was like, "What is this? Was this a real thing? Like, is this is what the show's about?" I was like, "No, this is just a little thing that they did for funsies."
In the style of the show, but it doesn't happen in the show.
Yeah, I guess it's crazy. It's one guy doing this elderly man, and there's this prepubescent boy.
Yeah.
So. And then I would show people that clip, and I feel like that's it. That's if you don't get that, I don't think you're gonna like the show. Like if you don't think that's funny.
Quick thing, if the feedback bothers you, the volume from the computer, you can mute the video.
I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Aesop said the DMX scene is what made him watch it a bit.
Oh, hey, Aesop, what's up? I'm talking to y'all. I'm not even paying attention to the chat. What's up, bro? DMX scene. I mean, that I was hooked. Like that got me. This is hilarious. Just the use of the song. I was like, this is funny.
You have those 2 up on your freaking timeline. Just
I have them. The buff.
I have found
Summer and Buff Rick as my cover photo. I put it on the Darkened Hour page.
Yeah, I found like a picture on Google, and it's like them posed as JoJo characters.
I was crying. Oh, this is perfect.
Wow.
This is me.
I was like, yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I would show someone that clip, and like that's it for me. Like boom, or that, or Get Swifty.
Yes.
Them singing.
Yeah.
We Swifty. We gonna get
and everything's done so poorly. Everything done in the vein of like a regular show. Like as far as singing, as far as like action, as far as like trying to be any type of as far as trying to be like other things, they suck at it.
Yeah.
They suck so bad that they're so good.
Yeah, because they don't care.
Real,
they don't care. They just ad-lib everything.
Matter.
So I have another question.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so as we know, Rick is an alcoholic, consumes drugs from different planets. He always has this flask, right? And it's always a liquid. So what do you think is actually in it? Do you think it has anything to do with the story, or is it just like an accessory?
I feel it's something like he may have like dementia. He just like I feel like he has dementia or some shit. So he
doesn't even remember what it is.
He doesn't remember what it is at one point, and it just keeps him keeps his memory jog. That's how I feel about it. Like you gone through so much time and portal jumping and shit. Something's bound to fuck up.
Yeah, I like to think that it's just originally was just meant to show that he was a drunk. Like that's it. That was the only purpose for it. But then I know that later on it's left open so that later on the writers can like dig into it like further.
Something's bound to
You know?
mess up, or like keep his like cell stabilized. Or
Yeah,
something. We're going through portal jumping.
it's left vague for that purpose, or it could just be nothing. Like the show is like
For
that.
real.
The show be like that sometimes.
It can lean that way. Like this might be important, but then again,
Or
And
like,
you don't know.
it doesn't matter.
Oh man,
It doesn't even matter.
you know, with me, I gave it some. I gave it a little bit because it was just like, because it was such an oddball color, like it's green and it's like not like, and he's constantly drinking. I do feel like that's like kind of like no, Popeye has his spinach or something like that. Like, that's it, like his.
Well, I
that's
saw
his
the
drink. That's like his keep him like sharp.
I saw the theory on it that first episode that when he has Morty stuff the fruit up his ass. Apparently, according to that theory, is that in that flask is just a liquid version of that that keeps him smart.
Yeah, and it just
That's
it could be that,
good.
but I don't like that theory. I really like the fact that it's just a nothingness. Like it's just
Because that is
just a drunk.
so on brand for them.
Yeah.
It's for it to be nothing, because nothing means anything and anything's nothing. So sit down and watch TV.
I really like the fact that some things could just be there.
Be a
Nothing,
throwaway kind of
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
So next question.
Yeah, what's up?
Which character do you identify with the most?
That's such a hard question. No one is.
Oh man,
Like,
you're
there's a
bit
lot of
every-
sub characters. There's a lot of throwaway characters.
No one is a cliche.
No,
it's
I
so
feel
hard
like-
to say that.
I feel like once you watch the show, you're a bit of every character.
Really?
that's
Yeah.
You think
there.
so?
Yeah.
They have very human problems and very
Very-
non-human situations.
Yeah,
Some-
like the backdrop is like a
Yeah.
sci-fi thing, but in the front it's like legitimately family-oriented
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Wow.
Or you know, in BoJack Horseman, the bro shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The bro shit.
But I think for me, I think a character that I gravitate the most is honestly Morty. Like I legitimately feel like Morty I want to be
Yeah.
Morty. You want to rag on Morty, but yeah, I mean, you were like 14. You were just
You're pretty
insecure and
stupid.
sad and annoying. Because I looked at my
Yeah.
14-year-old self, I'm like, yeah. I apologize for everyone who knew me when I was
Yeah.
around that age. I was such an
Yeah.
obnoxious person.
Seriously.
So I think I feel like Morty is the stand-in for the audience because he has
Right.
like real natural responses to the insanity around him.
And he is very aware of himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's like caught masturbating. He's like, "What? I'm 14. What am I gonna do? Like,
just letting you
like
know
don't knock
that.
on my door. Knock when you come in here."
Because I swear, one day
Yeah.
you're gonna walk into something
Yeah.
and you're not gonna be prepared.
And
He's so
Jerry's
aware.
like, I get it. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you do.
But
Okay, so
as far as characters
Oh,
though, before
sure.
you move forward, I
No,
think
no problem. Go ahead.
surprisingly, I like the sister a lot.
Summer.
Summer. Oh man, I feel like she grew on me like over time. Before she just felt like the girl that just wanted to be popular. She felt like a cliche at first,
Seriously.
but now she's like so much deeper. Like when she's gone on adventures with them, and
She's really cool, man.
particularly the episode where she went when they found that hive mind that Rick was in love with.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, holy crap, this hive mind is controlling people. And then she comes to the realization that, wait, these people are assholes regardless. Like,
Exactly.
they might as well be controlled because they're just going to kill each other otherwise. And she's, like, cool with it.
Word.
Like, she grew on me after those episodes where she came to a realization. She's becoming nihilistic, too. She's coming to those realizations as well.
Or the Mad Max episode where she's like
Yo.
awesome and she's
Oh,
shooting
yeah,
things.
yeah.
I was just like, I thought they were gonna treat Summer like a cliche as well, but
Yeah.
they really like gave her shine when I thought they weren't. I thought, okay, this is gonna be the flaw in the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're gonna make Summer the typical annoying older sister, you know, who just doesn't relate and she's just too cool to do anything.
Yep.
So I thought that was really cool. That's actually a really interesting.
They've
character.
done well by her.
They did well by her when they
Yeah.
didn't have to. You know, and people would probably excused it if Summer
Yeah.
was really annoying.
Yeah.
But okay, we're ready to move forward. You're gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I can compare with myself with Mr. Makes Me. Makes me. That's like can do exactly because I swear to God, he felt like my spirit animal when I used to work at Walgreens because I had to go
Can
do
do.
everything.
Yo, and just complete your mission
Yeah,
and just poof.
it just poof.
Yeah.
I feel that's like every Walgreens employee.
I feel like that's retail
Yeah,
in general.
like,
Oh, yeah.
or any like retail, exactly. Like you're just
Yeah.
like you want to get out.
I just want to die.
I just want to die. You know.
So
What
awesome.
an odd character to relate to.
Existence is cruel.
Yeah.
But okay,
It's getting weird.
it's getting weird. So what do you think really happened to Rick's wife?
Man.
And why do you think he's been keeping it so secret for like all of these seasons? We never really know. He even faked us out with a fake tragic story. What do you guys think is really
Oh
the
my
deal
God!
is?
I feel for that episode. I really feel that's that real thing. Like that really
Ooh.
happened because it's like he may just probably just act like it was fake, but he knew it was the truth. because he showed some emotion, but I know for a fact that it's like
There's
Rick. It's Rick.
There's a drop of truth in that.
Yeah,
it may not be exactly how it happened, but something.
Because come on, he's like the smartest human being in that universe, and he can do anything. Like he's God tier at this point.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Everybody wants to get his technology for portal jumping and time jumping.
He's the only one who can do it.
Exactly. And it takes like all these other aliens and monsters from different universes.
And themselves.
Exactly.
And
himself. It's a universe of himself.
The Council of Ricks hate him.
Do you want to talk about, you want to get down to DC nonsense?
Yeah.
That's DC nonsense when Batman just goes
He's
to
overpowered.
And
Rick is super
it's making a joke of it.
Seriously.
Yeah,
and it's doing it so well.
Seriously.
So what do you think, Marv?
I think that I think it's very close to what they showed us, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to be the one area where everyone is going to be able to sympathize with him. Like for once, and that's going to be the one and only place where people are going to be able to sympathize. Because other than that, you can't really look at him like, yeah, this guy is doing what he's doing because he has like something wrong with him. It's he's doing what he's doing because of that one moment that broke him. It's kind of like the Joker in The Killing Joke. He had that one bad day, and that's going to be Rick. That's going to be that one place where we can understand and get him.
And Swiss on McNugget sauce.
I think right there, I think the writers can't even give him a ridiculous like backstory like that. I think he has to have a human backstory.
He has to, man. It's
to
just
justify what he does.
Because he's, like I said, he's the smartest human being in that universe.
Yeah.
So he could easily just been like, yeah, this is what happens to my family. I just told you the truth, but
and
know,
then
at
say
the same time,
it's crap. It's
it's BS, you know?
Yeah.
It's BS.
to throw you off.
Just to throw you off. But,
To get to what I think, I don't think the writers even know yet.
They probably don't.
I think they're just like, you know what?
I don't think
we'll
so
get
either.
there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's their vibe. They don't want to get too complacent with a certain story mode. They just want to confuse you. They want to troll you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, they do, because it's like they really laugh at the idea of sentimentality, tragic backstories. You know, they made fun of comic books in the Vindicators episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
They totally ragged on the idea that these are perfect heroes and they're great and they're everything, and they always do the right thing, when all they did was destroy each other when Rick exposed their flaws. So that just shows how the writers think about typical, moral high ground stories. So for Rick to have this really dry kind of, his wife died and now he's depressed and now he's gonna do whatever, that's not them. This just isn't.
Nah,
it's not. I think they're going to go in a route where it's something so arbitrary and so stupid that you have to be them.
Or maybe he probably sealed her in like a little crystal.
Rick is probably the most narcissistic, organic thing in the galaxy.
You're right. There could be nothing.
Because he doesn't care enough. Like, I feel like he cares about his family to an extent, but they don't want him to be relatable in that way, like boo-hoo, you know what I mean? They don't want a boo-hoo story. We get enough of that, but when it comes to Rick's backstory, I want to know who his father is. I want to know I want to know a little bit more about his lineage and whatnot, like a little more about that, because that's weird. Or how did Beth grow up with him? Because there was a time they spent
together.
Beth remembers specifically. Those are things the way the wife dies is almost a non-factor. It could be cancer for all I know, like something really whatever, or like a slow death, and he just couldn't take it or whatever, and he just walked away and left Beth alone. That could have been, that's it, which is sad in itself, that he could have stayed, but he just actively chose not to.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know how to handle complex emotions. Because we've seen it when he sat with the therapist, right? What did he do? He sat there in his pickle Rick suit. He said, I don't need to be here. I'm smart. She's like, yeah, but you know how easy it is just to work on yourself? You don't have to kill anything. You don't have to be in danger. You just be honest. And that's where Rick falls apart. He always wants to run around and do crazy adventures and actually deal with like the real emotional problems. So to bring it back full circle, they want to make Rick this empty person, because ultimately, when you know as much as he does, how can you even be sentimental when you know there are 1,000 other Ricks, 1,000 other Mortys? You're just like
the Dr. Manhattan effect.
Yeah, he has a Dr. Manhattan complex.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You just distance yourself.
I think there's a character on Game of Thrones that has that right now. Bran.
Right, I hear about that a lot too.
Yo, so you like my prediction I did from last Game of Thrones episode?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So there's also, I'm going to talk about another theory that rolls around YouTube here and there, that Rick is actually Morty.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had my problems with this. I want to hear what you guys think.
You want to start off? You want me to go?
You go.
I think it would disappoint us because of the fact that we were able to come up with the theory. Like it really bothers me that we will be able to come up with it, and then like these guys had it right. Like no, I kind of want to be like caught with my like shorts off or whatever when it happens, right?
Right.
But as far as if it is true, it would make a lot of sense. It would, and it would show like the Breaking Bad sort of complex thing. Yeah. Like the good character that towards the end becomes just the evilest thing ever.
Oh wow.
And it would be cool, but I don't think that's gonna be the route they want. Because like you said, it's too common thinking. It's too.
They have to think so far out the box.
It's too deep too. Like you said, they kind of would want to like just say, yeah, screw it. Like this is the truth. Like it's nothing. You know, like when he went to jail at the end of season 2, and then you're like, wow, how's he gonna escape? How's he gonna do all? In one episode, he was back. He's like, hey, it's all about the Szechuan sauce.
Exactly.
Right.
It gets funny again. They get serious and they get funny again. Yeah.
I really waited a year, like thinking, like, wow, this is gonna be a crazy opening episode, and it was crazy, but it was like
bam, bam.
It was like, yeah. Hit the notes, I'm out. Earth's back to normal. No more aliens and all that jazz. So I don't know. It could be just nothing. And it's sad because we can say that this whole podcast about this, but it would be true. Yeah. Everything we talk about right now could be just nothing.
Yeah. Right.
But that's what's awesome about it.
Right. Oh, the idea of Rick actually being Morty, it falls on itself on like a timeline perspective. Yeah. Because who would Beth be then? That would be so messed up. That would be kind of messed up.
You kind of have to think about it. Like Rick doesn't necessarily have to be
the Rick that we think he is.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to be her father. You know what I mean?
It could all have been a lie.
That could go.
His name could not. If his name started off as Morty, he doesn't have to necessarily be Rick's. I mean, he doesn't have to. He could be anybody and just show up.
He could be a sociopath who just does this for kicks. Or
exactly.
Something.
I mean, it's not like she looks like him or anyway. Beth doesn't look like him. The rest of the family doesn't look like him. Morty, you can kind of get away with it.
The
stuttering, but I mean,
everybody else.
He's like a nervous little kid, and then the grandfather is just a drunk, and that's where he gets his stutter from.
Right. That's actually a really good point. That's actually a really good point.
I think if it was to be true, it's not going to be like some incense bomb or something like that. It's going to be like
Game of Thrones, guys.
It's going to be like he took someone else's place or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Oh, right. The Rick that he thought, because think about it. Like you talked about the episode with the Cronenberg, the universe.
Yeah.
And they're not even the original Rick and Morty in their universe. So that's they open the gate for possibilities. I think that's the show's strength. Like,
it's a never-ending web of theories that just all link across a huge span of time, and it's nuts.
Exactly. So I have another question. So which episode had the most emotional impact on you? Because there's a lot of legitimately sad moments, and I can think of a few of them. So I want to hear what you guys think. That had like an emotional that stopped being like almost funny for a second. You're like, damn, this hit me in the feels. Like this is getting way too personal.
You guys watched the new season, right?
I watched it up to.
Okay. I'm trying to think about like which one would hit me most. Like, Jesus.
Go ahead.
I honestly feel like when that one episode, I think it was episode 2, when they finally finalized for divorce. They finally filed for divorce, and like the ending with Jerry's going through his mail, and he's like looking for his paycheck, his unemployment is a wolf, and he's eating it, and that just hit me. Was like, bro, that if that's not real life, I don't know what is. That's the bills eating your money.
He's like, wait, but you're not gonna get nourishment from this. He's like, oh wait, this is just to make me torture. You feed off my torture,
my pain and suffering.
Yes, and then he just hands it to him, chews it, spits it out, and it's like,
Jerry is such a cringe character. Like he just has no spine whatsoever. Like he's everything. Like you meet people in Jerry in real life, and you try to like distance yourself. Like, I can't hang out with that dude. Like he's too like, I can't hang out with this
You're too
guy.
negative.
His worminess is gonna rub off on you and stuff like that. You just don't want some dude around you. You can't have the guy on your team at all, clearly. Yeah. And I think the episode that had the most impact on me was remember the episode where Morty wanted to do his own adventure?
Oh yeah.
And it went sideways. And he got assaulted by the jelly bean.
The king.
The king of jelly bean. And I was like, this is messed up, man. I felt hurt by the scene. And then he went back. I want to leave. And then Rick was lightening up because Rick was giving him a hard time because it was a bust. Like, the adventure was a bust. They almost went to jail, you know. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna lighten up. I'm like, I'm gonna start drinking and playing cards and stuff like that. And he's like, oh hey Morty, and Morty's so shook, like his shirt was torn up. He's looking around. He's like, okay, cool.
I love that face.
Cool.
I love that face. That exactly.
Face, like,
Rick was like,
someone down. You're not gonna tell me. I'm gonna find out.
Boy. I got my eyes on you.
Okay, so they try to leave and stuff like that, and he saw how nervous Morty got when the King Jellybean came down. He put two and two together. Yeah. So they're like, okay, cool, whatever, leaves. And he comes out the portal and shoots the Jellybean. I lost it. I was like, and they never addressed it again. Like, those were one of those moments where Rick didn't need for him to say anything. It didn't become a thing, and he just like protected his grandson without saying a word.
Yeah, and it's even crazy at like the end of that episode. Like, the villagers find the pictures of what he was doing to the kids. It
was the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
he's like, let us remember him as a jelly bean, as we want him to be remembered.
As the good bean. As the good.
Not the jelly bean he really was.
Exactly.
I was like, wow. I'm like, whoa, that like blew me away that they went there. Like, they went there. And I really like it, the fact that they do give Rick legitimate like moments of like fatherliness without being so heavy-handed about it. It's not after-school specials type. It's like legitimate, like that's real, because he cares about Morty.
Of course,
he cares about him, but he doesn't know how to be a consistent role model. He can do it, but he doesn't like keep it consistent. He gets annoyed by Morty because if you're as smart as Rick is, like someone like a kid hanging around you is annoying. But I think Morty keeps him human.
I get annoyed by anybody that has to explain everything to.
Oh, could you imagine? Right? Imagine bringing someone like a quarter of your age. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
You have to explain
love them,
everything,
but you don't want them there all the same time. That's their dynamic.
It's like when a kid's like like 3 or 4, and they're like, "Why?
Why?" And that's Morty, pretty much.
Pretty much.
He's like the toddler you drag around. So, do you have an episode that really hits you in the feels?
And it's one of the newer episodes. It's the one where they show when they're rebuilding the Council of Rick in the Citadel.
Oh, simple Rick.
And everyone in the episode is a Rick and a Morty, and they go through everyone going through their situations. It's like 5 different stories at the same time. Wow. You kind of get that whole Lean on Me feel with the 4 boys, the 4 Mortys that are going to like they want to change their lives or whatever. Yeah. You see the one cop that is kind of like Training Day.
Word.
And he's chilling with a Morty who has like got corrupted and he's like super evil and all that. And then you see, I guess that's evil Morty from the other episode. That he's running for president. Is it president?
I guess you call it president.
Yeah. He's running for office, and he tries to get assassinated by another Morty, or the other Morty tries to assassinate him, and it doesn't happen. And you know it's going to lead to more. But the whole episode had this feeling of like, I guess you can say of discrimination or oppressed people.
Oppressed people.
Because the Mortys are oppressed. And
so are the Ricks, too.
And the Ricks, too, are unfortunately.
Yeah, the Ricks were super oppressed. They were either construction workers or office workers or working in some factory. And they know they're brilliant, but they've been given this task, and that's it. There's no mobility at all for them.
There's a vicious circle, because you see that one Rick that was trying to, I guess he was trying to break out of that system. Mm-hmm. And he went to a room where there was another Rick sleeping in a chair, and he said, "I'm going to shoot this guy if you guys don't give me a portal gun that I can go anywhere with, untraceable." Mm-hmm. And then you realize at the end of the episode, when they do cast the other guy, when he throws him in the portal and the other Rick dies, that they put him in that chair afterwards. So it's like a never-ending circle, and I guess evil Morty is trying to break that circle. Like, this has been happening since forever.
Often, since the beginning of Council.
Since the beginning.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna break this, and I think evil Morty, he's gonna become a hero towards the end. He's like, he seems really evil right now, but you don't really know what he's trying to achieve yet.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna get that answer for a while.
No. He's a very Rick-like Morty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has Rick ambition.
And if anything leads towards that theory of Rick being Morty, that character like kind of
gives me that vibe.
Yeah, like you feel like this could actually be true.
He was giving me House of Cards vibes.
Like,
House of Cards.
Frank Underwood vibes.
Game of Thrones, Red Wedding.
Yeah, he had a lot of ambition, but
he had the swag
that
too.
Scene,
Yo, for real.
Right. He had the sauce. All of it. So the part that really got me was a simple Rick, where they like anything can be commodified, anything can be put into a bottle and sold. Even your rebellion can be sold, because that's what happened. Yeah. Because that was bleak. Because that's how it is. Like, people want to make change in the world, and they want to do this, and people like the look of rebellion, but not the actual actions of it. Because that's what he was trying to do. He was like, "This is messed up," and they agreed. They're like, "Oh yeah, messed up. Pop." And that's pretty much how it goes. That's the world.
Yeah.
You know?
They can sell you your own philosophies back to you, even if those philosophies are about destroying the structure that are selling you that philosophy. Like, I used to like Fight Club a lot when I was younger. Like, that was my movie. I loved it. And I watch it now and I realize that this is a product. This was made exactly for my demographic of people that were totally against the system and fitting in and all this. We're like in a square where like that's one demographic. That's the hip hop kids. That's the rockers. And here's these anti-establishment kids that we can make money off of also.
Right.
And that's pretty much what that episode said too. It's like these guys are trying to fight the system. We can sell them back their own fantasies and their own
precisely.
like
and
you
it
said.
was just like this vicious cycle. And I think the part of the scenes that really messed me up was seeing that really jaded Morty, the jaded cop Morty.
Yeah.
He was just
God.
like distinctly different because he was overweight. You know what I mean? He was just corrupted.
I feel
you know?
like-
I was like, wow, this guy is
Yeah.
really going through it. That was a really meaty episode.
Yeah.
They went through so many levels in 22 minutes. They
Yep.
covered so much ground. It was probably one of the most impressive episodes they've done. A lot of commentary, both overt and really like subtext kind of stuff, like
Very
stuff you
right.
really have to really pay attention to.
Social commentary.
Yeah,
about
and
everything.
they can do that very well, and that's not easy to do in 22 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And still be funny, and still manage to still be funny
With
in its
everyone
own
with
way.
the same voice, with the same look almost.
And it was
They
also
can get away with
sad,
that.
you know, the part where the four Mortys
The
and stuff like
kids,
that,
yeah.
they're all going to be trained to have Ricks. That's their whole life purpose, is to have Ricks. They're in that little Hogwarts school.
Yeah.
And then they thought that well was like a dream thing. They thought it was going to be something special. Actually, just a garbage
dump.
disposal. Like, that's
It's
when
a
you
dump.
throw your dream. That kid threw himself in there, poor other Morty. I'm
Yeah.
like, wow.
But the symbolism, I guess, is what those kids are going to take away from that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be also fuel for evil Morty, you know, to lead the people towards a revolution
Right.
and all that jazz.
Because he sold himself as someone. I'm for all Ricks and Mortys,
Yeah.
even though he's like obviously like he kills all the competition
Yeah.
right after he wins. Like he just guns them down. I'm like, whoa, this guy flipped the switch on everybody because he came off as super nice and friendly. It's like, look at you, you all should be living to all your potential and da 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 da. People bought into that hope, you know, bought
Yeah.
into all the change. And then they're gonna get a whole other different type of a council of Ricks, and I can't wait to see our Rick and our Morty to go check them out and see what because they went to Atlantis adventure
Yeah.
and you know swam with the dolphins or whatever they were doing.
Mermaids. They
Chilling
had
with the
some fun with the
Oh,
mermaids.
they had some fun with the
Yeah.
mermaids. Oh my gosh, they did. They just brought that.
They're like, we're going back there every weekend.
Oh my god.
Right?
So
Of
they,
course.
that was like the little distraction so
Yeah.
that, you know, we could get into the real stuff, which is Council of Ricks. And they're like, yeah, we'll never have to deal with the Council of Ricks ever again.
Yeah.
Or the Citadel ever again. Yep.
And it's so
Nope,
much worse
sure
now.
won't. It's so much worse
They
than they
don't
could
even know.
possibly imagine.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I have this this thing that I found, was a post that kind of was like shade towards like Rick and Morty fans and whatnot. So yeah, it was kind of shady. It was a little shady about fans and how they see themselves. Because I've joined groups here and there, and some of them are really annoying. Like they try so hard to be edgy, and they all think they're Rick, and it's really annoying.
Don't
And
you
someone
hate that?
said that that many of them believe themselves to be a Rick Sanchez type, but most are Jerry's. So
I think that's so true.
Wow.
Because the whole point of being Rick is to not fit in with anyone, to kind of do your own
Exactly.
thing. And if you're that person that's like, yeah, I'm gonna go be like Rick, he's
Yeah.
like my hero, then you are already Jerry.
you
Right,
are
yeah.
essentially you've
That is
become
exactly
Jerry.
what that says.
Stop bandwagoning,
And it's
guys.
like all the time Rick gets, you know, called out on the show sometimes. It's not like he's like perfect. He gets called out too.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a lot
Yeah.
of people don't want to relate to Jerry because they see themselves in Jerry.
Yeah,
A failure.
everyone has something.
Yeah,
about Jerry.
that really kind of.
I think we said that earlier. We
Yeah.
said that everyone can kind of relate to certain aspects of every character.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a little bit of Jerry in all of us. There's
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah,
of there's a little bit of
Morty's-
Rick.
Like you
And
said
Mar-
earlier.
There's a little bit of
That's
Rick.
exactly what it
There's
is.
a little bit of Beth with all your parental
Yep.
issues. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
So
And
they do a nice balance, so you don't glorify one character over another.
none of them
back-
are-
And
none
it's so
of the characters are
easy
great.
to hate Jerry, but not really
Exactly.
trying to understand that he's a regular
Cringy.
regular man, like really average and not brave, not particularly bright either, because he tried to convince that Pluto, you know, was still a planet, even
Yeah.
though the scientist who's been in different dimensions and
Has not.
You know what I mean?
They
He tried to,
did
like-
not agree with him with that.
it's so easy to hate Jerry, and it was me too. Like Jerry was just annoying. Like, but then after seeing him go through all of that, imagine you remember when Rick got caught, you know, and they're on this other different Earth, the tiny Earth.
Tiny Earth.
And Jerry's like, you guys are gonna sit here and just take this L for Rick, and Rick would never do it for us.
And he's right though.
And
Yeah,
Rick was
he
like,
definitely
dang,
is.
yo.
He's
And
right.
Jerry called him out, and I don't think
Of
he'll ever
all
know
people.
that Rick took that in his brain and turned himself in. He had no plans of turning himself in.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry did something that was kind of brave, but like nobody gave him credit for it. Like, cause they
No,
were,
they're still shitting on him for it. That's one of the reasons they got divorced because of that.
yeah, and
Exactly.
do you feel that Beth has like this unhealthy relationship with her father. Like it's like
that's
yeah,
without
like
a doubt.
without a doubt, right?
There's no question.
She is the epitome.
She wants to excuse everything.
Daddy's girl.
Daddy's girl and
Even though daddy's a prick.
Yeah, daddy's a jerk.
I mean,
she's still trying to defend him.
She's definitely the epitome of daddy issues and wanting to be daddy's right hand person.
That sense of abandonment that she has.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. I don't want to scare him away.
Yeah. Exactly.
When retrospect, you shouldn't even give a shit about like if he's coming.
I don't know if she shouldn't give a shit. She should definitely be happy that he's back. But at the same time, if he's gonna bounce again, then go your own way.
But think about it. At the same time,
he already has in a way.
But at the same time, if you think about it, at the same time, he's spending more time with Morty than he ever does with her.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So that's crazy, right?
Yeah. So when you're thinking about like, oh, she wants his respect, she wants him to be in life, and you're not really there. Your son is there, but you're not.
Even your daughter's there more than you. They've never gone on an adventure together. Beth has never been on an adventure with.
By the way,
if you think about
even
it,
Summer.
Even Jerry has.
Exactly. Yeah. Even Jerry. Oh my God. All the people who has. If you haven't noticed, those are the 3 people who mostly call him out.
Yes.
Beth has not yet,
and she has not been on an adventure yet.
I think that's why he can't have her around like that. I feel like it would hold him back even more than Morty.
I think it's
because Morty's seasoned now. Yeah. Morty's not like as a nervous guy anymore. Like he kind of roll with the punches now.
I feel like Rick loves Beth, but the fact of the matter is that he knows that she's trying to get his approval so badly that he can't stand it, so he doesn't want to be near her.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I'll call you my daughter, but I'll keep you at a distance.
Right.
Like I'll give you what you want, but I'll keep you at a distance.
I'm with you on that one.
Totally.
So it's like.
So speaking of like season 3, right? Mm-hmm. How do you feel like it's going so far? Like, do you feel like it's going in a good direction? Do you feel like it's meaty? Like it's going to be a really good finale? So we can agree to that. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like the season's going to end? If you could see the next couple episodes,
Martin, I'm gonna give you that.
I can't even predict that. Like honestly, you couldn't even predict the Well, you predict Game of Thrones is gone predictable. It's become predictable.
It's come formulaic.
I'll give you this turn.
At this point, it's there. But Rick and Morty, no, you can't predict what's even gonna happen the next episode. It's still a sitcom. It doesn't have like a serialized type form, even though stories kind of bleed into one another. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of hard to even think about.
Seriously, man,
it's
like when you think you know one thing in the show, then it just comes in the next episode like, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna get Phoenix Person back.
Who?
Phoenix Person.
Oh,
well, Bird Person is now Phoenix Person.
Yeah.
That's a character I want to see come back, and I want to see the scene.
Yes.
Where Rick puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
That girl brought him back as a cyborg zombie. And I'm going to have to kill her now.
I forget. Did he not recognize? Did he ever get to see him yet?
Nope. That was a cut. That was an end credit scene. They haven't seen each other yet. And that's what I'm waiting for.
I feel like that's going to happen. Like, she's going to die. He's going to kill her.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Because remember, he said it. He was like, Bird Person is like my best friend.
And have you ever heard
Rick say that?
Except for like Squanchy, but that was about it.
El Squanche.
Squanchy, it's on a different level because they were in the war together.
So was Bird Person.
You know how old people... No, that's what I'm talking about. Bird Person.
Yeah.
Bird, you know how people are when they like go to war together. Like, man, we fought together. Yeah, on the battlefield and all that jazz.
Rick takes it super serious.
Yeah.
That's blood brother right there.
Yeah.
And poor Phoenix Person. He got the worst, man. He couldn't just die. He had to get brought back as a weapon, right?
I literally feel like the reason why she brought him back is because she may have had just been like, oh, yeah, I'll bring him back as my weapon. But she has some sentimental value because you don't stay that long as a secret agent op for that long and not grow feelings.
Right. Well, she was lying from the beginning. So
she was.
She got nothing.
She was.
She's cold, bro.
She was. All I'm just saying, man.
But
why bring him back?
Because
besides just writing him as a surfboard.
Well, she needs. They still have to get Rick.
Yeah.
It's not over.
It's really not.
Now it's even worse because he broke out of jail. It's even worse. So
that's going to be how they're going to wrap up the season. It's going to be a big battle.
Yeah.
Between him and Phoenix Person. He's going to have to make a choice.
It's going to be another great war.
Yeah, like it's gonna break out on all the planets where all the Ricks are gonna come together and be like, nah, we gotta stop this. You know, this is too much. You know, we gotta destroy that whatever they were, the secret
space
agent,
colony, or whatever. I think
Galactic Federation.
The Galactic Federation. Yeah, they're gonna destroy him because he escaped and he messed up their little planet.
Yeah,
but they're gonna come back. I mean, why drop that story out of nowhere? You know what I mean? They're like the Nova Corps. They're gonna come back and they're gonna try because Rick is still dangerous. He's still a fugitive and a runaway fugitive at that. So.
He's a god. Like I literally feel
so
like
I feel like
inhuman
maybe
as
it'll
well.
lean that direction. But hey, like you said, they think about how if the first episode mentions Szechuan sauce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of all things.
Curveballs.
100, 9 seasons of Szechuan sauce. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
who even knows? Like, you guys made a good point, but this is me. Because they do. There's a common thread from season to season.
Exactly. They bleed into each other, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
At the same time,
kind of neglected. But
yeah, they neglect it and they make you think they forgot.
Yeah.
And I bet you next episode, Phoenix person.
like the first time you meet
Yo.
Bird Person, you don't think anything special of him. He's like
a rando character.
he's like awkwardly at that
For
party
real.
that they had.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I am Rick's old friend.
or
or
Mr.
whatever.
Poopy Butthole.
Or Mr.
for-
Poopy Butt. You don't think anything big of them when they come back and you find out the
And they're
longer
besties.
story. Yeah.
And it's worse because like you didn't even know like Mr. Poopy Butthole was like even an actual character until that
Yeah,
episode.
because
Yeah.
we thought he was fake.
And
Poor
I-
Beth shot him in the chest.
Yeah.
And it even gets better if like no one hasn't even started reading the comics. It continues.
Yo,
off
I've
from
read
that,
some of
yo.
it actually. And it's
It continues off
funny.
of that, and I'm actually happy about that.
Yeah, no, the comic books have expanded the world even further than I could have imagined.
But didn't I hear that it was in a different dimension?
Oh, you
It's
mean?
It's
still-
a different Rick and Morty.
I don't know.
But it's so close to like the TV's dimension that it
can't-
has
Yeah.
to be so closely parallel to the other one.
yeah, there's like
Yeah.
think of it as Rick and Morty Adventures.
Yeah.
Extended. They just extend it into a different
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
story.
I feel
whatever.
like sometimes that they might end up pulling up some comic stuff that they do
And they
put it
they
into
totally
the show.
could.
Yeah, because it's like because a lot of Rick and Morty people are gonna be like, all right, I watched the show, I should give the comic a shot. Maybe I'm getting like a little foothold or clues because maybe the comics give you clues to the next episodes and stuff like that.
And it could.
And it could.
They can get away with anything at this point.
At this point,
With that, all those
man.
dimensions and all those threads.
Another popular theory. I'm
What's up?
gonna lay this guys on it because I've seen a little bit of this.
What?
So they believe that Rick is aware that he's a cartoon character.
I would say so. Because
Do you think that's a step too far?
I think I would say that
I
also.
would say so because he does this too
That
much.
he's aware that there's
I
something.
know he's aware of it.
He
but
feels
I
like there's
don't
no
think
real
it
consequences. To
I don't
what he
think it
does.
matters.
It doesn't.
I don't think it
like,
matters.
Like I think he's aware. It's cool that he's aware because he's like every end of
Because
the
he
season.
speaks to the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every end of this, almost every other.
like,
season.
"Yeah, that's my catchphrase."
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is my new catchphrase. End of
Yeah.
the season. Get out of
Dub,
here.
dub, dub,
Yeah.
you
Dub,
know?
dub, dub. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
so that would bring it into another realm, but would it add anything necessarily?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I think that's so too. Because the breaking the fourth wall,
mhm.
it's a way that the audience can direct. Because it works for some stories. It might not work for this, but it
Right.
works as a gag.
Yeah, as a gag, like a little quick
it's funny.
thing.
But I've heard people thinking that like, yo, he's aware that his whole world is a simulation,
Mhm.
and he acknowledges that they believe it's real, but he can't prove that he's in a simulation yet, type
Right.
of thing. Because you remember there's an episode where he was getting caught in that loop of simulations,
Yeah.
and he's done this before. So and he still remember he still thought he was in simulation. He was cut Morty's head off or whatever
Yeah.
he did.
listen here.
Yo, he had his head up the night.
Are you a simulation or what?
I entertained it on that level, but once again, that would be like, oh, if they do that, there's no coming back from it.
Yeah.
There's no coming back into the
Matrix.
story. Yeah, it's like you can't come back to the story and then,
Yeah.
and then
I
Rick.
feel like just
yeah.
keep it as a gag.
Yeah, I've
Don't
definitely
lean too far into it.
Yeah.
don't.
Because
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's gonna be like the most like simple thing that you thought was important, and it's gonna be very relevant towards the end.
yeah,
I
just like the character of Bird Person, totally didn't seem like he mattered at all, and then
yeah,
you find out like, oh
exactly. Oh wow, they're best friends.
wow,
Right, like blood brothers,
Besties.
not just like, hey, what's up? We
Besties,
get
like, bro,
do drugs together once in a while.
I'll
No,
go to
Yeah.
jail if someone kills you, my guy.
because you
like,
remember when Bird Person got shot up? Yo, Rick was like,
You-
no,
bad
Yeah.
person flips table,
flips the
pop, pop,
table,
Yeah.
pop, 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 pop. Yo,
Yeah.
he
pop,
lost
pop,
it.
people drop.
Yo, pop, people dropped. Yo, he went ham. But I think that makes Rick even more complex because he acknowledged that when he was younger, he was still fighting these people his entire life. So that makes him even more complex. And I always give Rick and Morty credit where credit is due. They take a lot of care for character development without. They plant seeds and seeds, like you said, that you think that doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
and it blossoms into something else, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool. Because I treat Rick and Morty the way I treat BoJack Horseman, or the way I
I was
treat
gonna say Supernatural because you went back to that.
Supernatural. No,
I was like, because you went back to that. You were saying before.
I'm not proud of it,
I
but
know.
I'm
Just
not
saying.
proud enough to talk about it
Just
here on
saying.
YouTube.
he's not proud about it.
You
No,
went
I'm
back.
definitely not proud.
Nah,
I'm
you
supposed to
went
make a
back
Darkened
to-
Minute about that soon,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
about my feelings about a show that has way well past its expiration date.
We don't talk
But
about that.
when it comes down to Rick and Morty, I don't know how many seasons Rick and Morty can have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to give them
Right.
7 seasons, 4 good seasons, and just end it. Because there's no show that's a very important
I was gonna
season.
say that 4
For-
seasons.
4 seasons should be good.
Yeah. Or
Or this season could just wrap everything up.
No.
no, that's too fast.
Don't do that to
Don't-
me.
that would
Don't
be
do that
messed
to
up.
me.
That
You
would
could
be
wrap it
really-
up, but don't do it to me.
No, I'm just saying like an Easter egg. Like,
I
you go,
think-
this is the end of the season.
No.
5 seasons of Rick and Morty is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. But like I said, supply and demand. The fans can either boost up the show, but not know how to let go.
No.
You know what I mean? And I think Rick and Morty fans are like, they'll be a little salty, but they move on. You know
Yeah,
what I
of
mean?
course.
I feel
Yeah, of
like
course.
there's not like this. It was the waiting period
Yeah.
between the seasons.
It's
that
an
was
Adult
crazy.
Swim show. How long do Adult Swim shows last?
They don't
They don't
last
last
very
long.
long because it
I don't want to become South Park
Or-
with 20
or
seasons
Family
later,
Guy
or
or-
Family Guy, or The Simpsons.
Simpsons.
yeah.
Or even Futurama had a good, it
That was a
fizzled out
good
on its
run.
own.
Futurama was alright because it came back a couple
strong.
times.
It came
Yeah.
back strong a couple
So
times.
I don't want Rick and Morty to get stale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's gonna hurt. Like that's gonna hurt me bad. I'm like, dude, y'all can do
Mm-hmm.
better than this. But I feel like they're gonna learn from how other shows have failed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
nice.
Rick
I
and
do.
Morty is breaking new ground when it comes to adult animated television series
Yeah.
that hasn't been done quite like this. You can tell they're obviously inspired from their predecessors.
Yeah.
But they're doing something so different and so dark that millennials, I guess, like in our age group, completely relate to, and it works for people in our age group.
And
Of
it's
course.
sci-fi.
And it's sci-fi.
So we haven't
you know what I mean?
gotten something like this before as sci-fi.
Seriously,
Yeah,
when's the-
sci-fi specific series.
Everything has been the family orientated
Exactly.
adult show.
Yeah.
Seriously.
South Park even has that family aspect to
we
it.
we didn't get a sci-fi.
Sam-
we
Family
didn't-
Guy.
Yeah, we didn't get a really good sci-fi comedy show besides Futurama.
I would argue that we haven't gotten really good sci-fi since like
Yeah.
The Matrix. In general, I would argue that.
But I'm saying like for
Ooh.
like animated wise, like that kind of comedy and stuff.
animated sci-fi, it doesn't happen as often.
Yeah, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Doesn't
But
happen
we had
Besides
Futurama.
Futurama.
Yeah,
Futurama's that one.
That was it.
definitely put its
But
foot
I
down,
would
yeah.
say,
Yeah.
as far as like really good sci-fi, where I see like a cult following for it, or not even cult, this is mainstream at this point.
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah, it's super.
you can say Star Wars has that. You can say maybe the Alien franchise. Maybe you can
Yeah.
say a couple
Major
Terminator.
Yep.
Right.
And then the Matrix, and I feel like it ended there at the Matrix.
Mhm.
Futurama had a small following, but it's nothing huge. It's not anything that's
It wasn't
ginormous.
crazy and rabid the way Rick and Morty even.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying sci-fi.
And only in 2 seasons of like.
For real, 2
freaking
seasons
Yeah.
and caught fire.
Of
It
course.
caught
And
fire.
it took a couple years for them to be on the map.
I would say this is the return of sci-fi. Like
Yeah,
literally, I would go
seriously.
bold out and say that. Like
You
this
think
is.
you think this made like it cut out like the superhero genre
I would hope so.
and usher in a new age?
I don't want the
of,
superhero
sci-fi?
genre to disappear. But
I don't
But I
either.
feel like
I want it to
like
evolve.
it's yeah.
I want it to evolve.
Let's
as well.
evolve a little bit.
But-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is nice watching something, something that was written. Their sense of humor is kind of fresh. It's refreshing to see their sense of humor.
course.
That's not biting off somebody else.
Of course.
You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
Legitimate setup to jokes. You know what I mean?
It's nothing
References
else like
on
it.
point.
Nothing else
Everything
like
is
it.
super sharp.
That
and-
episode they made fun of the Justice League.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like we talked about earlier in the show, where they make fun of themselves, make
Yeah.
fun of everything, and but not in a way that's like they can be offensive.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't do it for this, and because you said it was shock value to you in the beginning, but once you
Yeah.
start really watching it, it's like they're getting offensive to make you think about stuff.
Yeah.
They want you to think about things in a different
Absolutely.
way, and they're not doing it to be like.
Absolutely.
Which is so strange when I hear some of these fandoms or whatever who post super offensive memes, like not even funny, just straight up terrible memes, and I'm just like, do you even watch the show though? Did you see the DMX X gonna give it to you? You know what I mean? Did you see how those horrible people got punched in the stomach and punched in the face? What show are you watching where that kind of
Seriously.
stuff is okay?
And you would think about it, like Rick doesn't look like the type of person who'd be into memes
Right.
or social
Right.
media or anything like that.
Yeah, he's too
Like
busy.
look what he thinks about Summer and her popularity thing. Like
yeah, like
Exactly.
who
It's
cares?
beneath him.
It's so beneath him.
So,
yeah.
I don't care
Dr.
about you.
Manhattan. You think Dr. Manhattan
Yeah,
cares about
it's
memes on the internet?
beneath him. Like,
And he is like the same episode. He goes, "I don't care about your opinion, Summers. I'll rank you."
yes.
It's like,
I can show mathematically all your
Yes.
all
oh,
pieces of
this is
shit.
shit.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, I'll pull you out a chart.
Yeah.
He pulled out the whiteboard. I was
Mm-hmm.
in tears.
Oh my god.
And that's the strength of the show is
Mm-hmm.
that it continuously makes fun of itself. It doesn't take it too seriously, but it takes its writing style seriously.
Of course,
It takes the
man.
story seriously, and
It-
they're
yeah.
they're a lot of fun to watch. Those guys are hilarious, and honestly, obviously the guy who voices Rick and Morty, he has to get drunk kind of to do Rick.
Yeah,
I know.
To get the burps on point.
If that's not the best freaking job, I don't know what is.
That's
I can't
the coolest
imagine.
job in the world.
Because I remember the first time I heard him was on Adventure Time, and he was Lemon Grabs. And Lemon Grabs.
Yo, for
I just
real.
thought whoever's this voice actor is amazing.
Lemon
shrill.
grab.
You like that. He said when he was doing Lemon Grabs, he wouldn't be able to do voice acting for like a week after one episode.
Because he was so shrill. And
Yes.
Lemon Grab just was at the top of his lungs, screaming practically.
Oh my god.
So he's very talented, and if you think about the origins of Rick and Morty, it was supposed to be like a spoof of Back to the Future.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what is, and the artwork was so bad that it was funny. Like it was that level of bad. Like it was clearly like
I couldn't watch those initial.
MS Paint. Like
I can't watch those initial like little sketches that they
Oh
had.
my
these little
God.
blue.
It was horrible. You gotta lick my balls, Morty. Like, did you see that?
You hear them.
Oh, I can't watch that.
It just shows how far they've come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all this stuff is not overnight. It took them years to hone their craft, and he had to get experience, and it took him a long time to even pitch Rick and Morty. This is like not easy. Adult Swim has a lot of oddball titles, so they're at home there. They're gonna do whatever they
they're
want.
fine.
Like I don't want them to go any other channel but Adult Swim.
It's actually
Stay
good
there.
that they have a nice bright palette of animation, because
Right.
Adult Swim is kind of different than that. You know, you get kind of bland, like one color shows
Boring.
that's
Yeah.
really, really dry humor. Rick and Morty, if it didn't have cursing, you can kind of see it on Cartoon Network, like right alongside like regular show and Adventure
if you
Time.
took the language from it and just toned down the adult content, it could have easily been right after a regular show.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I think Adventure Time opened up that floodgate so I can see like those kind of like abstract
Seriously.
type humor.
Yeah.
regular
Because
show and,
very abstract at
Very,
times.
very abstract. No,
Really out
I think
there
more
sometimes.
Adventure Time than regular show, because regular show is kind of like
Straight up burns. Like,
it's like
straight
going
up
back.
roasting.
It's like a bro show. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
While Adventure Time is kind of like so abstract, and the lines are all there's no straight lines or edges, and
Everyone's so
It's
round.
it's a pretty kid version of Fallout, my friend.
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it
Yeah.
is.
And I do believe Adventure Time opened the floodgates for a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
And then it gave me hope that like the next generation cartoons are gonna be fine.
Yeah. Of
There's a lot of garbage out there or whatever, and it comes with
And the
about
characters don't even
Yeah.
have too much detail on them anymore. Like
They
you look at
don't.
art from the 90s.
they put a lot of effort into
Everyone
facial
had
expressions.
these amazing facial expressions, but it is getting simpler to animate, and and the humor is getting so different and abstract, and it's okay because you have to think now.
Yeah.
Right.
I won't say with an episode of Animaniacs, you kind of had to like get the references that they're
Pop
doing,
culture references.
pop culture and all that
Tons of
jazz.
them, yeah.
But with something like Rick and Morty or Adventure Time, you kind of just have to like sit there and think and like twist your head a little bit, looking at the TV and be like, what are they trying to say here?
Yeah.
You know?
It's kind of like some like Tumblr humor sometimes. I
It
don't know
is.
how to describe
It really is.
Like
It really
Tumblr.
is.
Like
And
you
it's
really
funny.
have to just get it.
I got
Yeah.
into those two things at the same time, Rick and Morty and Tumblr.
Oh my god.
And it kind of like, it's like a different aspect of my life now. It's like, I'm either really watching Rick and Morty or I'm on Tumblr, like
Yeah, like
Cut.
I
Choices.
left clicking and
That's
saving art.
So crazy because I think I got a
Seriously.
Tumblr around like 2010 or something like that. I had it for like a really long time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the height. That's when the regular show, Adventure Time, people were getting me into that. I was still in school and whatever. So our generation, I feel, holds on to animated series much longer than the previous.
Of course.
we hold on to them a lot longer.
Of
Whatever
course.
that means.
The internet helps us stay attached to it.
Yeah, so I
'Cause
thought, yeah.
He-Man came off the air in the 80s.
You never
and
see it again.
That was it.
No.
That was it. Like
Yeah, that's it,
our
yeah.
parents got like, oh well, He-Man's over.
Yeah.
Move
Time
on
to
the
watch,
next- time to be a grown up now.
Yeah,
Thundercats.
time to be an adult. But no,
Yeah.
but with us, we can still watch Dragon Ball Z anywhere at any time for any
Seriously,
reason.
man.
I'm sitting here watching old episodes of SpongeBob, bruh, and I'm crying. Like, it
Yeah.
still knocks. Like, the early seasons still kick. Like, they're still
Yep.
funny.
Not these garbage ones that they have.
Yeah,
out.
I don't know what SpongeBob's on these days, but
Yeah.
I don't acknowledge. I acknowledge from season 1 and season 4, and that's it. We're done. I don't know
Yeah.
who the rest. I don't know who the SpongeBob is. Like, it's some new
After
stuff.
that.
That's this decade's definition. I think in 20 years when we look back on this particular decade, where
Yeah.
we're looking back on the 90s now, we see all that grunginess, we see all
Yeah.
that extreme rad comic books and all that
Yeah.
jazz, and we see the 90s was just that extreme like time, and then the 80s is like the neons and all that jazz.
Yeah.
For this decade, it's gonna be the
Rick
whole
and Morty.
abstract type fashion, girls with the 7 layers of color in their hair, and we're gonna say, wow, it's really this was like an abstract like
this
decade.
was such a strange time.
Yeah,
this is a very
this is the
strange
teenage years of this millennium, and everybody's being like this rebellious to everything.
Everyone's so nihilistic.
Yes.
Everyone has this existential crisis all the time. Like, okay, well, nothing matters. You know, we're probably gonna end up in nuclear war, and the global warming's happening.
Yeah.
Let me just enjoy my cartoons, I guess.
Yeah,
That's my kind of vibe these days.
and if this was 1950, and we're talking about having a president like this, and we were talking about nuclear war, people would be hiding under their desks and under their tables, and
seriously.
we're just on our iPhones looking at social media. And
we're just like, we're aware, but the way we escape is through things like things like Rick and Morty.
We have this very fuck it mentality, and I think Rick and Morty represents that, like
that break,
like a nail on the head. Like,
right, it definitely does. It definitely. That's why I say our generation clings onto Rick and Morty like this. We got it. They got us. They took time to understand what we want to listen to, and how to like craft this new sense of humor, this dark sense of humor that to me that's almost demographically specific. You know what I mean? The cartoons our parents grew up in were just your Saturday morning cut out happy ending. Oh my gosh, what a weird show that is, but everything was just happy ending. That's it. But now the growth of Simpsons changed the game as the adult family, and I feel like Rick and Morty is a notch that we're all going to remember as the way animated adult shows changed.
Yeah,
that's the notch.
It's a line in the sand, like
this is the standard right now.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah. So now we're gonna wrap this up. Any final thoughts on Rick and Morty? Anything at all? Because there was a new episode tonight. I'm definitely gonna be watching.
Oh yeah, that's only 5 hours every Sunday.
I don't even watch TV like that. I only watch TV and watch Walking Dead and Rick and Morty. That's literally it. The only time I watch TV for real.
Just, what time does it come on?
11:30.
Oh, we're good. You're good.
We good. Yeah, we're good.
You got time.
Yeah, you're right.
But,
I didn't even know it was on Sundays. I catch it online.
Yeah, I think this is.
Now I know what to do with Sundays. Now that Game of Thrones is over, I really these last couple of Sundays, and I hope Aesop's still watching. These last couple of Sundays have just been a blur. Like, what do I do with myself?
Yo, me and you both, bro.
I've just been like, I've been drinking and watching Game of Thrones every Sunday.
It became part of your routine.
Yeah,
it became part of your Sunday nights.
Yeah,
that was like our ritual.
I just on Sunday nights I play that song from the 1970s Hulk. You know what I mean? Dun, 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 and
oh yeah, the little sad song, he walks away.
Yeah, and he walks away. That's been my Sunday nights since Game of Thrones ended.
Yeah. How do I live? What will I do?
Yeah, seriously.
Yo, dude, you know Tia found I was gonna say Tia found this store.
The HBO store in the city had like the Night King.
Standing
a
out,
statue. His hands are out, and he said, "Winter is coming."
It's a figurine, or it's like a life size.
It's a life size.
Holy jazz!
I think it's from like torso up, but it's life size.
So it's a bust, but it's awesome.
But it's huge.
I shall have him in my living room.
But all right, so to wrap this up, I'm gonna do some final shout outs.
Go.
Shout out to the Fortress of Solitude in Newark, New Jersey, on 53 University Avenue. I visited them on Saturday, which was Batman Day, and they had some other independent comics there, and I'm looking forward to, talking about that very soon, maybe on the Facebook page, and let you guys know how I felt about it. Yes, so that's my shout out. Also shout out Joker's Child in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. We also frequent there as well.
My peeps.
And that's me. Anything else?
Villainy Games. You already know. That's it.
Bend the knee. Bend the knee.
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Speaking Mind Radio for having us. Shout out to Wolf OTR, the real shit talkers and all that jazz. And of course, Villainy Games. Thank you so much, Marvin, for having Rick and Morty.
Thanks for having me. I love talking about this.
Yeah, this is my jam. I've been waiting so long to have this show.
Yeah,
so yes. So as Sunsets on this mortal realm, like and follow us on YouTube. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And that's it. My name is Tia LaBeouf.
Migs.
I'm Gnarly Marv.
And peace.
See you at the end of this season. Season 3.
Get some Szechuan sauce.
That's the show, people. Get off your computers. Get off.
Yeah.
Why are you still here?